Now to a story that we've watched unfold from the beginning. Local running and race coordinating shop 4Run3 abruptly shutting down last month. Area organizations claiming the East Longmeadow business still owes them collectively thousands of dollars.
We learned the case is now headed to court. Western Mass News reporter Olivia Hickey joins us live in studio with the latest information.
Abby and Chris, this week, charities impacted and their lawyers asked to expedite the process of appointing an interim trustee to investigate what happened to the money and optimistically regain some or all of the money that is owed. Court documents obtained by Western Mass News reveal as part of their duties of providing racing services, 4Run3 Running LLC took on the responsibility of collecting donations and registration fees through Run Signup. The documents claim owner Tim Murphy created accounts on behalf of the organizations, naming himself the authorized user, blocking access to the organizations, maintaining control over money flow in and out of each race account. On your screen now is a list of the 5 organizations who claim the business owes them nearly $30,000, like the Hamden County Bar Foundation and Miles for Mary. This doesn't include all the organizations that may be missing some or all of their money, like our station charity Foundation for TGO Animals, which is still missing about $12,000 of fundraising money from last month's Jack Rowe Memorial 5K. A hearing is scheduled for noon Thursday with Chief Bankruptcy Judge Elizabeth D. Katz at the federal courthouse in Springfield. Western Mass News has reached out to 4Run3 owners Tim and Jill Murphy and Run Signup. We have yet to hear back. We also stopped by the storefront in East Longmeadow today and again found it dark. We will continue to follow this story closely and bring you updates as soon as we receive them. Reporting in the studio for Western Mass News, I'm Olivia Hickey.